We're talking with Peter Burchfield, who on Vam World is known as 78-Long Knock.
Correct.
And Peter's here to do his 5 and 5. And we'll start off with, when did you become a Vammer?
Well, first of all, Kenny, I want to thank you for pulling this all together, because this is going to be a great living memory for a lot of individuals long after we're long gone. I really appreciate you spending the time, energy, and effort to pull this all together.
It's my pleasure.
When I became a Vammer was 5 years ago. I had an accident which laid me up for many, many months. And but I started collecting Morgan dollars back in the mid-'70s in the Morgan Carson cities. I was able to collect them all when I was younger. Anyway, I asked my wife to pull all the Morgan dollars out of the safe deposit box, and I sat there for 2 weeks vamming all 97 of them. It only took me about 3 days to go through it once. I had no idea what I was doing, but I learned along the way, and I was so fortunate to have run into Vam World when I was sitting there on crutches for 3 months.
Cool. So that kind of sounds like you almost answered question 2, which is, what was the cause of your becoming a Vammer?
That's correct. I stumbled into Vam World, and thank goodness everybody put the Vam World together so I could learn by trial and error as I was walking through each of the different coins.
Excellent. So, what's your favorite Vam memory?
Well, my favorite Vam memory at this moment in my life, it has to be the 1889 23A. It was picked raw in the Philadelphia area. Its history, I don't know exactly where it went, but it didn't travel very far from 1889 to where I live outside of Philadelphia, so maybe 20 miles.
Excellent. Okay, so question 4, what is your favorite Vam?
Well, truly, as everybody understands, at some point you run into and you zero in it, just like Kenny and everybody else is zeroed in on a specific time and date. Obviously, I fell into the 1878S 1B reverse, which is known as the Long Knock. It's actually the very first 1878S that was produced in San Francisco on April 17th in the afternoon, supposedly. But that is my favorite 9-coin series, and I've been very fortunate enough to collect all 9 of them in pretty high grade at this moment. Now, what's interesting about the 1878S B1 reverse is we're doing an enormous amount of study, as Kenny is well aware. And I will share with the public for future references. We'll be able to etch this and put this out more out in the near future. But there were 10 OBs and reverses sent out to San Francisco, of which the Mint was only able to use 5 OBs and 8 reverses of the 10 die pair that was sent out to San Francisco, which created a series of B1 reverses. We'll talk about the fun one first. VAM 72 was one, and that used the same OB was used on VAM 72 and VAM 59 and VAM 18. We cannot forget about that. Even though that was the first B2 reverse used in San Francisco, it was used, that OB was used on 72, 59, and 18. In each, obviously, the reverses were completely different. The second is the VAM 58 was used, and then the next series was VAM 56, and then VAM 62. They used the same reverses on 58 and 56, but they were different. That was a different OB on the 78. I'm sorry, on the 58, and the 56 had a different OB, and they used that OB again on the 62 with a completely different reverse. Then there's also the bastard child is VAM 27. We've not found any use of the OB or reverse on any other coin in the 1878 series at this moment, which is March 28th or 27th of 15. Now my favorite is, and the most die study was spent on this area, VAM 26 was first, then VAM 60, including the presentation piece. Then they did the business strike, Then they did VAM 57, and then they did a remarriage and put the VAM 26 again at the end. But there will be more on that in the near future when JR finishes up everything.
Yeah, he's a busy man too.
Yes, he is.
And the final question, advice that you would have for VAMers, future, present?
My advice to VAMers is something I've done is I've fallen in love with a particular series or particular date and done a major and intense die study. And if you do a die study, whatever date it might be, you will learn more about doing that die study than if you just go out and willy-nilly pick VAMs all along. So focus on a particular area, especially a new VAMer. Get to know a particular date, and then you'll learn so much from that, and then you'll be able to use your VAM dollars wisely.
Excellent advice. Peter, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks, Kenny, for all you've done.